Welcome to Clock It, where your opinion is what wins you the game. Today we are back. Our favorite contestants are back in the building. Help me welcome him. You know him from iHeartRadio. Hey, Kelly.
What's going on, y'all?
How you feeling?
Feeling good. It's great to be back. We feeling good today. It's gonna
Harlem
be a
in
good
the
day.
building.
Harlem in the building. All day, every day.
Love to see it.
All day.
And she is our favorite fashionista. She is back yet again. Help us welcome Devyni. Hey, girl.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. You look good. I'm loving this look.
Thank you.
You've been coming
I gotta bring
through.
the looks.
You've been coming through with the looks. You look great. As you know, guys, this game is just not about getting the answers correct. You got to know what you're talking about, and more importantly, you got to clock it. Give that big buzzer a hit. That's exactly what you'll be doing anytime you want to clock in and give your answers. Let's go ahead and get this game started with our first question in round one. Which actress is set to play the U.S. president in a new movie? Devyni.
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry. Halle Berry.
Hallelujah.
We love Halle Berry. So talk to us about what the plot is of this movie.
Yeah, so basically the movie is called The President is Missing, and it's based on a novel. It was a best-selling novel by James Patterson, and actually Bill Clinton co-wrote this book. I think it was a bestseller in 2018. And so basically the premise of the book and movie is that the president has to go missing, like fall back a little bit so that they can, or she can help with this catastrophe that's going on in the U.S. So she got to go missing to save the day.
Now, this is a breath of fresh air, in my opinion, because we never get to see women as president. At least in America, it has yet to happen. I hope that we could advance forward one day where that can actually happen. It's just not today where it's able to happen. Kelly, from my understanding, Halle Berry, this movie specifically, was written by whom, and also what is it based on?
Yeah, it's dope because this specifically, she's not only starring in it, but she's also helping produce it. So she has a production house called Halle and Holly in collaboration with one of her friends, Holly Jeter, and there she is. Look, beautiful, absolutely. And this production house really focuses on stories like this, right? In terms of characters that may be misrepresented or maybe that we haven't seen. A female president is definitely up there, so they're doing really good in terms of what they're trying to do here.
Yeah. What can we expect, Kelly, from this production company that she has?
I think just exactly that. It's not just movies, it's also TV shows where she's going to dive into stories and characters that we don't really see too often. One of them I know that she is working on is a woman that's really going through menopause at the moment, and we don't see that in pop culture at all.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that sort of vibe as we continue on.
Yeah, I'm loving this. Listen, Halle has been in the game for a very long time. It's only right that she has her own production company at this point. Like,
damn right.
She knows it in and out. Why
Absolutely.
not? Love this for her. All right, Devyni, 100 points you have on the board. Kelly, you are at 0, but we got more opportunities for you to up those points. Let's help you do so by advancing on to our next question. Which rapper updated his song Cop Killer to Ice Killer? Devyni.
Ooh, Ice-T.
It indeed was Ice-T. Now, what prompted him to do this?
So we all know what's going on with Ice right now. And so I think it was at a concert where he was performing with his, is it heavy metal band?
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Ice was heavy at that moment during that concert. And he decided in the moment, he didn't plan it, but he switched his lyrics or the title, the lyrics to Ice instead of the Cops.
Yeah.
So
Let's hear him talk about that moment on The Breakfast Club.
When I did that, that didn't happen just recently. That happened when we played in L.A. at the Warped Tour. And that was the moment when I was there, Ice was active out there. Okay. So it's like I'm in the midst of Ice raids and stuff like that. And I'm in front of a L.A. audience, and it just came on. I didn't know I was going to do it. I didn't know I was going to do it. It's time to play Cop Killer. And then my brain just said, you Ice Killer, you know? And it went over. But of course.
Kelly, is this surprising that Ice-T changed the lyrics in his song?
I mean, not at all. Ice-T has always been someone who's been for the people. He's been one to protest. And even being in that moment, he's just a great live performer that he just knew where he was. And you know how it is when you're on stage, you want to switch it up. The crowd's going to react positively or negatively. And they reacted positively, which led to how people feel about it now. And he was kind of ahead of the curve too, because we see the atrocities that have happened in terms of ICE with these two people losing their lives recently. He was kind of ahead of the curve when he switched the lyrics there earlier.
Yeah, and I love this because he's always, like you said, been one of those people who is not shy to say what is on his mind. Now, I was surprised to know and learn that there was a beef between Ice-T and Soulja Boy. Kelly, can you tell me about this? Because I was like, what is going on here?
Listen, it's wild. It's the battle of the generations, where back in the day when Soulja Boy was popping, Ice was, you know, creating a record for this mixtape, and the people around him was like, listen, we don't want to hear no Ice-T. We want to hear Hurricane Chris. We want to hear Soulja Boy. And the competitive fire just lit on him. Like, you know what? Forget Soulja Boy. He said more than that, obviously.
Yeah.
Soulja Boy heard that, made his own response, and then Ice-T's son heard it, showed his pops like, yo, you got to get back at Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
They just kept on going back and forth. And I like Ice-T, though, because he's like the elder statesman here. He's like, listen, it was just blown out of proportion.
Yeah. An innocent moment that the internet took and ran with, of course. Now, is Ice-T worried about his long-standing role on SVU, Devyni?
From what I read and what I got in that interview, yes and no. He said his role has kind of died down a little bit in these later seasons. So I think they're on season 28, which is crazy. Year 28, season 28. He said that he's just trying to get to season 30.
Wow.
Which is very close to coming, you know, into fruition. So he's like, if I could keep my job till then, I want to be here for that 30 year. But he don't seem to be sweating that his role is, you know, minimizing a little bit.
30 seasons is wild to think that he has been on this show for that long. Clearly still doing a great job, because they wouldn't have him if he was not. All right, Devyni, 200 points you have on the board. Kelly, 0. Just sending you a reminder. That's it. Next question. All I'm saying, okay? Which actor admits to getting Quaalude prescriptions to drug women? Kelly.
Bill Cosby.
Where did he admit this?
So there's a lawsuit that was out there from the early 2000s that have recently come to play. And in here, he allegedly admits exactly what you're saying. Now, since then, his representation reached out to Lauren LaRosa with the Breakfast Club and basically was trying to say that this isn't the case. They're saying a couple things behind the scenes, maybe misrepresented, but definitely a horrible look for Bill Cosby and everyone involved.
This is awful, and the fact that he admitted to it is even crazier. Who did he even get these drugs from, Devyni?
So apparently he got it from a gynecologist friend, which was a man, and this guy later went to lose his license. Rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
And then his accuser, she was also saying that in the moment at that day, she thought that she asked for an aspirin. So that's what she thought that she was getting. Then she woke up the next day in lingerie and in pain in her, you know, private area. And that's how that all came out. And so that wasn't no aspirin.
So the accuser is saying that she thought she took an aspirin, but what is Bill's attorney arguing, Kelly?
They're trying to say, and mind you, though the lawsuit was early 2000s, this actually happened like in the 70s. So they're trying to say Quaaludes were more of a recreational drug. They were even advertised on billboards. So kind of assuming and telling people she may have known what she was getting into in the situation as opposed to getting an aspirin. So they basically said that it's up to the jury to decide whether or not her argument is fact or not.
Yeah, we just got to wait to see how this plays out in court, because two sides are being told, and obviously, hopefully, we get to the bottom of it at the end of the trial.
Yeah.
All right, Kelly, you are back. 100 points he has on the board. Devyni has 200. Last question in round 1. Which rapper addressed his childhood sexual abuser on Shannon Sharpe's podcast? Devyni.
Kevin Gates.
It indeed was Kevin Gates. Now, how old was Kevin and who was he assaulted by?
So he was a teenager, which is very sad. I just hate to hear stories like this, but he was a teenager and it was a male family member or someone close to him. And he also said that he wasn't the first to be sexually abused. Like, once he started telling his story, he found out that other people in his family also experienced that.
Yeah, this was really sad, but also great to bring truth to power as a man like Kevin Gates. Hear what he had to say on Shannon Sharpe's podcast.
I saw that you did an interview with Mike Tyson, and you revealed for the first time, you never revealed this before, that you were sexually assaulted.
Yeah, I was sexually victimized.
So I've heard people say, what's so traumatic about this? Not only is the child robbed of his youth and his innocence, But when he or she tells the person that's in charge of protecting that youth and innocence, they go unheard. They're not believed.
That was one of the reasons that me and my mother had a, disagreement. That's one of the reasons. Like, we told you what happened to us.
So it was multiple. It wasn't just you.
Nah, it was. I'm gonna say me. It's just
Okay.
me.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the. I'm gonna take.
You gonna take?
I'm gonna take the beating for the
Okay.
friend. But yeah, I told you what happened to me.
What does Kevin say the situation allowed him to do, Kelly?
So just going through the situation allowed him to kind of have that free-form conversation with his kids specifically about stuff like this, and even just to, I guess, kind of break generational curses as well, because, they also speak about what happened to this individual that did this, and he is no longer with us.
Yeah.
So with that comes, Kevin Gates being able to kind of push forward and make sure others aren't assaulted in that way as well.
Yeah, and I love that. Breaking generational curses, especially in this regard, is something that is definitely key and important. Now, how did Kevin put his pain into his artistry?
He actually made a song about it, which was great. And he said that he actually cried for 2 weeks straight once he actually made the song. So he got to actually release that pain, which I feel like is amazing that he got to put it out in his art. Now it gets to help other people and breaking those generational curses. So it's been a good thing.
Yeah, I love to see it. Anytime you can use your pain to put into your art and it also release in a form of therapy, I think is absolutely amazing. And then also, I think a lot of people look at this super masculine man like Kevin Gates and thinks that they can never tell their story, and it allows them to see someone like him and say, hey, maybe I can come out and tell my story. So I love that he is sharing this information with us. All right, guys, that brings us to the end of round 1 of Clock It. Kelly, 100 points on the board. Devyni, you have 300. Now, Kelly, starting off slow, but as we've seen time and time again, you start off slow and then, hey, you end up winning this thing. How are we feeling? And we feeling like this may be a moment where you're going to make a comeback and get this clock.
Listen, I'm always confident in my ability. Devyni's absolutely quick with it. You know what I mean? I just got to work on that. You feel me? But other than that, absolutely, I'm confident.
Devyni, you are quick today. Let me tell you. I don't know what is it, a coffee, an energy drink? What's going on? What did you do to prepare today?
I don't know. Maybe this outfit's giving me superpowers. Because usually I am not that quick with it.
It's the bright colors. Yeah.
Sparkles.
Giving you a little added razzle dazzle. Listen, wear this every week. We love to see it. Well, guys, it is now time to embark on round 2 of Clock It. So let's get started with our very first question. Which rapper has reportedly signed a deal with Gamma to release an album? Kelly.
Kanye.
Now, let's talk about it, all right? Is it ironic that this deal comes right after his apology in the Wall Street Journal?
Absolutely not, because we all saw this coming, man. It's something where he's been completely disrespectful for at least the past 3 years. Then out of nowhere, when he has something to sell to us, oh, I apologize.
Yes.
I'm going to go to the Wall Street Journal, put out an ad and apologize to the Jewish community as well as the black community. I'm sorry. Oh, by the way, I got some new merch on my site as well as a new album dropping.
Yeah.
Now, what is Gamma, Kelly?
So Gamma is like a all-in-one house in terms of multimedia. So it's music, production, also music distribution. They can help you create the merch, market it. They do absolutely everything in terms of whatever you're working with. And it doesn't even have to be involved with music either.
Yeah, because who are some of the people, Devyni, that they are associated with?
The people are actually kind of all over the place. We got Sexy Red, we got Steph Curry, we got Mariah Carey. And those right there are just like, Yeah. So they are real multimedia. They're all across the board. They're helping everybody.
Yeah, this is wild. When I saw the names, I'm like, how do we draw? What's the correlation? I guess Gamma is the correlation between everyone. Now, in your humble opinion, Devyni, do you think that Kanye had to release this apology to work again?
Absolutely. He couldn't be out here just disrespecting everybody and saying whatever he wanted to say and then expect to come back and release albums and merch and expect them to sell. He knew what he had to do.
100%, especially Kelly, because from my understanding, this album has already dropped and it seems like it may have not done well. And so he's trying to spin the block and drop it again is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, when all this happened, you had the people on the top thinking you're not going to sell anything. So on top of him not being on streaming platforms, he couldn't sell his merch. He couldn't sell his albums, none of that. So in order for you to push forward, what do you need to do? You need to apologize to the individuals that run things, okay? And he understood that, and now like you could hear his records on iHeart again for the first time in a while.
In a long, long time. Now, when is this next album being released, and what's the name of it?
March 20th it comes out, and it's called Bully. And as you mentioned, it was released like independently last year, but there was use of AI in there, so apparently he's going to take some of that out and re-release it now for everybody, because he's sorry.
Right.
It's not his fault. He's just sorry.
He's sorry today. I actually was looking at an article that literally laid out the timeline of him apologizing every single time and recanting everything that he said. So this is nothing new. Kanye always does this. It's just this time around he had merch and albums and
he
things.
was just rapping about Jesus like 3 years ago.
Listen.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how my pastors tell me. Anybody who has ever had a real encounter with Jesus, they were always radically saved and never returned back to their old self. So I'll just say that. Do what you want with that information. All right,
Okay.
Kelly, 200 points you have on the board. Devyni, you are at 300. Here's our next question in round 2. Which athlete said Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Famer is egregious? Kelly.
LeBron James.
My boy LeBron James did say this. Now, what made him say this, and how does the voting work for him to even be in this?
Right, so Bill Belichick, who was a legendary coach in the NFL, he coached Tom Brady and the Patriots to 6 Super Bowl championships. He's also won 8 overall. He was a defensive coordinator of the Giants and won 2 more. But yes, he had his opportunity to become a first ballot Hall of Famer, in which the committee, which is made up of 50 people, you need 40 votes in order to do that, and he did not reach the 40 votes, and they announced this, and everybody lost their minds, because it's like somebody who has all that credit, also won Coach of the Year in the NFL 3 times.
Yeah.
They're not first ballot Hall of Famers, meaning he doesn't go in the first time he's on the ballot. Absolute insanity. So we saw people like Patrick Mahomes, and then, of course, LeBron saying, huh? What's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can imagine for someone like myself who does not even watch sports, and I was clueless until I found this information out about everything that was going on. Now, in your professional opinion, when it comes to just sports and everything, why do you think that he was not one of the picks?
So he wasn't the most beloved guy behind the scenes when he was coaching. He always had a certain air about him. Also, there were a couple controversies that happened with the Patriots during that run. They had one that was called Spygate, where individuals from the Pats organization were allegedly caught, filming some of the other teams while they were practicing. And the other one called Deflategate, where in the AFC Championship game around like 2007, they were saying that the Pats deflated the ball a little bit so it was easier to throw and catch. And because of these controversies, they're saying that the individuals who are voting on this were like, you know what, as penance for you doing all that allegedly, we're just not going to allow you to go in. We know you're going to get in eventually. We're just going to use this as a punishment so you don't go in first ballot.
Gotcha. Now, that makes a lot more sense, because after seeing everyone talk about how this man should have been a Hall of Famer and then him not be one, the way you just broke that down, it's all making sense a little bit more now. So I get what's going on.
They're being petty, Corey.
They are being very,
petty.
very petty. Has the Pro Football Hall of Fame committee, have they responded on this?
Yeah, so they responded yesterday, and they basically acknowledged the firestorm on social media, because when I tell you like 99.9% of people are completely lambasting them, they acknowledged it, but they didn't say anybody did any wrongdoing, though they did say if there were any voters that did go about something the wrong way, that they will be dealt with as well and removed from the committee.
So they approve of what's going on, pretty much is what it sounds like. Okay, hey, listen, they team petty too. Cannot be mad at it. Next question it is. Which artist admitted his apology dropped him out of the Big 3 conversation? Kelly.
J. Cole.
Now, let's walk this back a little bit. We're not going to assume everyone lives in our world and understand what's going on. So let us know, what apology is he even talking about? So
back when the whole Drake and Kendrick thing started about 2 years ago, Kendrick had his own response in which he went at Kendrick on a song called 7 Minute Drill. And then afterwards, he dissed him a little bit, and then nothing too crazy. But afterwards, he realized it really wasn't in his spirit. He didn't like it. So not too long afterwards, he was at his own Dreamville festival. And on stage, he apologized to Kendrick, which is a big no-no in hip hop for obvious reasons. He also took that track off of any sort of streaming sites as well. So he's acknowledging that at that time, when he made that decision to apologize, that people knocked him off that Big 3 conversation between him, Kendrick, and Drake. Yeah. Now, Devyni, as someone who personally likes to advance daily, likes to grow daily,
I love to see a man admit when he did something wrong. But in the space of hip hop, this is not always glamorized.
Yeah.
Is it wild to think a man admitting his faults has now dropped him down as an artist and his entire catalog is just like gone away by the wayside?
It's not wild to think because that's the nature of hip hop. Like Kelly said, that's just not what you do.
Yeah.
But I can respect him for apologizing when he felt like it was not in line with his character. I feel like that's what you should do. Like, that's the right thing. But in hip hop, I guess no apologies, baby. No apologies.
They just want you to be your same self no matter how toxic it may appear. My goodness. All right, Kelly, 400 points you have on the board. Devyni, you are at 300. We got more questions. Let's keep it moving. Who is comparing WAG status between Taylor Swift and Cardi B? Devyni.
Mace and Cameron.
Now, I don't even know why this is a topic of conversation, but let me show you what was being talked about.
They're looking at it like, okay, this one is cleaner. That's basically what they're trying to say. This one is cleaner. This one is not. This one is white. This one is black. This one is seem to be monogamy. This one is like 3 or 4 baby mothers. This is like, this is not going to help us.
Okay, so I get it, right? Like, they're both WAGs, and people are feeling as though Taylor Swift is being shown more than Cardi B, and I guess this is how this topic came up on their podcast. But there are so many people to compare. Why are we comparing Taylor Swift and Cardi?
I think because they're the biggest extremes. Because if you were to compare Taylor and maybe Sierra, those you wouldn't have the major extremes. You wouldn't have the controversy. You wouldn't have the chatter around it. So I think that they picked the 2 biggest extremes. This seemingly white American, all-American couple, and then this black couple that got a lot going on.
Yeah,
a lot.
It's like Love and Hip Hop and Housewives.
Exactly. So I don't even know if we got Housewives with that one.
Oh, okay. Maybe not Housewives.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because you know what? The Housewives be a little ratchet nowadays. No matter what city you are in, it's getting a little wild. Pulling hair, throwing things.
Everything.
You are not wrong. All right, guys. So we are embarking on our very last question in round 2. And both of you are tied with 400 points on the board. So here we go. Last question. Which female rapper is thanking Trump for her free gold card? Kelly.
Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj.
I had never even heard of a gold card. Break this down. What is it?
I love Nicki Minaj. She's the greatest.
No, he literally said that.
I love her.
He said that.
The Trump gold card is wild. It's basically like an immigration program where if you got the bread, if you got money, there it is. Look at them. I love America. You can get this card and pay upwards of $1 million to a couple million in order to expedite your opportunity to become a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that Nicki would have done this to get that?
I mean, for one, I just found out that she was not a citizen. That was something I found out within the recent months. And then 2, let's be honest, it's making sense as to why she is on this administration's the way that she is. How much is Nicki pledging to donate to Trump?
I think $100,000, which she got off good because $1 million or $2 million, she paying her little $100,000 and she good to go.
And she keeps saying, "Oh, I got my free gold card," but was it really free?
No,
because you got to throw out $100,000 in order to get it. But to your point, $100,000 versus $1 million, 2 different things. Kelly, this is something we already knew, but however, is it starting to make sense as to why she is so pro-Trump now?
Listen, and it's so funny because we've been chronicling her whole journey to the right side on this show, and we've discussed it ad nauseum, and here we are. The culmination of her joining the administration is here. She's now the gold card bearer.
Right.
Congratulations.
Yeah, whatever that means, right? And it took you $100,000 to get it, but hey, that's nothing to you. More power to you.
What does it mean to lose your soul?
What does it mean to lose your soul in your community and fan base? All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode of Clock It. And what do you know? Kelly is today's winner. He is the one that is leaving here and being crowned with our Clock It chain. He is back. He was undefeated for a very long time, and here it is, man, doing your thing. Look at that.
Man,
it looks good on you, too.
Feels good. Thank you very much. You know what I mean?
It is
to
an
my
honor.
people, I love y'all. May the Lord be with you and also with you. Devyni, you're the best of all time.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Devyni, thank you for being here. Kelly, thank you as well. Viewers at home, we back tomorrow, and we'll see you again for another episode of Clock It.
Yo, it's lit.